See, you've seen filters. See, filters. Is it audible, online students? Is my voice is clear? Online students? Okay. See, filters, I given one example. One more example we'll see. See, it is on solid. It is on solid. Suppose the solid name is welcome solid.java. This solid, how many times viewed? How many times viewed? I want to count the number of views. This program you already studied, no? What we did for this program? Welcome solid, just welcome solid, and I want to count the number of views. For this, what we written code? This program you already studied. Starting sessions only, basics. What we written for this? Session is not required for this. Counting number of views. It is just one solid program. In the solid program, I want to count the number of views. See, it is one solid. It is one solid. This solid, how many times executed? I want to count. This counting program already taught while teaching basics. Now, what we written for this? Solids completed and the basics only are not giving answer. Solids is completed, no? Solids introduction, starting sessions only studied. Counting number of views. What we written code? For this program, is it session tracking required? Is it required? No. Session tracking is not required. Online students already given answer. Still you are searching notebooks. Just one count variable, integer count equal to 0. In the service method, count plus plus. Solid request, solid response. In this method, count plus plus. That is only counting number of views. This program, solid name, I think counter solid something I given. Integer count equal to 0. It is instance variable. After that, count plus plus. It will count or not? This is basic program. Starting solids, 8 basics, 8 programs I taught. In that basics it is there. Counting number of views. This page has been accessed entire count views. Again, that program. So counting number of views, just you need to write one instance variable count equal to 0. Inside the service method, count plus plus you can write. Then it will count the number of views. Okay. Number of users if you want to count. How many users are accessing that present this server? For that what we written? Session created, session destroyed with listener program. Okay. Now my task is, it is just one HTML page. Okay. This page name is homepage.html. Homepage.html. Now, first, those two, is it clear? Whatever I asked. Any doubt is there? Counting number of views. Counting number of views, what we written? Integer count equal to 0. Inside the service method, what we written? Count plus plus. Count plus plus. Okay. This is only counting number of views. Now, integer count equal to 0, instance variable. When memory located to instance variable? whenever object is created. When this object is created, solid object. When solid object is created. When solid object created, don't know? Give me answer. Object creation order by web container. I given no? First solid context, next user defined solid, next solid request, solid config, next solid request, solid response. Which object when it is created, I given? Now, when user defined solid object created. Like if I give a task also, how can you give answer? No, actually today program what I am going to teach is for that this knowledge is required. Solid context, next user defined solid, next solid config, next solid request, solid response. Now give me answer. Now, when solid context is created, when solid context is created, whenever web application is deployed on server, when user defined solid object created, whenever first request comes to a solid, when solid config created, whenever init method is called, when init method is called, whenever first request comes to a solid, when solid request and solid response created, for every request created. Now, life cycle methods remembered or forgot? Life cycle also remember, no? What are those? Init, service, destroy. Now, init, service, destroy. In that program, we are writing integer count equal to 0 as an instance variable. This count to plus plus we are writing inside the service method. Now, integer, this count to plus plus where we are writing inside the service. Service method when it is executed? For service method only for first request. Every request. That means this code is executed every request. Okay. When this is executed required, it is instance variable. When instance variable executed, memory allocated, whenever object is created. When this object is created, nothing but this is only user defined solid object. When user defined solid object created, whenever first request comes, count value 0. Later service method called count plus plus 1. When second request comes, is it executed again? No. Is it executed? Yes. Then it becomes 2. Again request comes 3. Again request comes 4. So this count will increase. This is counting number of views, starting sessions. So while teaching solid basics, I taught this program. Okay. Now it is a server. One user logged in. Count plus plus. One more user logged in. Count plus plus. One more user logged in. Count plus plus. One more user logged in. Count plus plus. At present, how many users are there? 4. This user logged out. How many users are there? 3. This user logged out. 2. One more user logged in. 3. This code, where we written? Like this we written, no? This program we written, no? Recently we written, just 3-4 days back. What we written? Session created method, count plus plus. Session destroyed method, count minus minus. These two methods are available in which listener? HTTP session listener. HTTP session listener. Okay. This is counting number of users. Counting number of users. This count will increase also, decrease also. Okay. But counting number of views, that will never decrease. It will increase only. Like an example, YouTube views, YouTube video views. It will never decrease, no? Will it decrease? Never. Now my task is, it is HTML program. It is HTML program. Okay. This HTML program, how many times accessed? I want to count. Think yourself and give me answer what we have tried. It is just HTML. This HTML, how many times viewed? I want to count. In HTML program, count equal to 0. Can you write? But give answer now. HTML count equal to 0. I cannot write. It is HTML. Extension also I given you. Observe. Homepage.html. Now my task is I want to count the number of views for this HTML program. Think and give answer. If any concept is possible, think and give answer. I want to count the number of views for this HTML program. It is not .java program, .html. .html. In a .html program, integer count equal to 0. Can you write? No, not possible. HTML is presentation language. It doesn't take variables. It doesn't take operators, control structure. These all. No logics, no errors, no exceptions. Okay. Now, my task is I want to count the number of views for this HTML page. Any concept is possible. Think and give answer. Which one? No, HTML not possible. Okay, leave it. With the servlets or servlet listeners or filters. This one I want to count with the servlets, with helping of servlets or servlet listeners or with helping of filters. In these three, any concept possible, think and give answer. Servlet, listener, filter. In these three, possible or not possible, think and give answer. My task is counting number of views to this HTML page with helping of servlet or with helping of servlet listener or with helping of filter. Filter, what we have to write? Where we have to write? Now, I want to count the number of views. Think and give answer. I want to count the number of views for this HTML page. Think yourself and give answer. What we have tried, where we have tried. I want to count the number of views to HTML page. In HTML program, we cannot write count equal to 0, count plus plus, we cannot write. That will leave it. With helping of servlet, with helping of servlet listener or with helping of filter. Is it possible or not possible? Think. If possible, what we have tried, where we have tried, how tried. Think and give answer. Think and give answer. What we have tried, where we have tried, how tried. Listeners, listener, what you have tried? Which listener you have tried? Session created, session destroyed. That is when it is executed. Whenever session created, executed. In this HTML program, any session will be there? No. That session listener, if you write, session created, session destroyed, when it is executed. Whenever session created, then only executed. Now it is just HTML program. First, my question understood? Understood? Now, this is just a HTML program. This is HTML program. Here, one request comes. One count should be 1. One more request comes. Count should be 2. One more request comes. Count should be 3, 4, 5, 6. Like this, count should increase. I want to count how many times this is accessed. But with only this HTML program, it is not possible. With helping of servlet or filter or listener. Which is possible? How to write? What we have to write? I am asking. Filter, what we have to do? Do filter. How to give a link for this one and filter? Filter chain. What we have tried, where we have tried. Now here we have to, first of all, when the request comes to homepage.html, filter should execute. That is where we have tried. When request comes to homepage.html, we have to execute filter. Then outright URL pattern, nothing but homepage.html here. That is where we have to write web.xml file. So when request comes here, divert the control to filter. Then filter you can write. There count ++ you can write. That will increase. So actually writing code is not possible in HTML program. But what you do is whenever request comes to HTML, execute filter. Like that possible? No? That is only filter concept. It is not possible with solid. It is not possible with listener. Dynamic dispatching possible only for filters. That is the benefit of filter. See, it is not possible with HTML. It is not possible with solid. It is not possible with listener. It is possible with only filter. See what I'll do, just observe. Here, it is HTML. Homepage.html. Okay. Whenever request comes to homepage.html, whenever request comes, I'll divert the control to filter. It is counter filter, something I'll write. Counter filter dot Java. Now, here actually request comes to here. When request comes here, I'll divert the control. Like this, I'll divert the control. I'll divert the control to filter. Say, that is, I'll write here. What I'll do is, whenever request comes to homepage.html, divert the control to counter filter. Like that, I'll write code. Counter filter dot Java. Say, when request comes to HTML, divert the control to counter filter. Like this, I'll write the code. This is web.xml. Now here, what I'll do, here one instance variable count equal to 0, I'll write. Here one do filter method will be there. Inside the do filter, here count ++. Count ++. I'll write. This count variable, what I'll do is, this count variable, I'll pass to context, because context is common to all solids, all filters. Now, solid context. This count variable, I'll pass here. I'll store here with set attribute method. Here, something views. Here, count variable. I'll write. This is set attribute method I'll call. Set attribute. Set attribute, I'll write views and count. I'll pass. Okay. This count value I'll place here. Now, what I'll do is, I'll write one solid here. I'll write one solid. Something display solid dot Java. This count I'll retrieve here. This is I'll retrieve with a get attribute method. Get attribute. Here I'll pass views. Like this I'll write. Then you'll get a count here. Then you'll get a count here. Count value comes. What I'll do, here I'll write message. Homepage.html executed count times. I'll write. Say what I'll do. First of all, I'll send the request to homepage.html. I'll send the request to homepage.html, but control diverted to counter filter. Here integer count equal to 0 executed first request, count plus plus the value placed here with helping of XML file, control diverted. This value I placed here, but this value I'm retrieving here. Now what you can do, you have to send the request to display servlet. Instead of sending directly, here I'll write one message. Click here to see the number of views. Like this, here is one hyperlink I'll create. When I click on hyperlink, this program should execute. Like that I'll write. Say, click here to see the number of views. It comes here. It is executed. It will retrieve the value. It will print. Once again you observe. Once again listen. First of all, my request comes to HTML. My request comes to HTML. But already in a XML program, I written whenever request comes to HTML program, divert the control to counter filter. I written. Then what will happen? Control diverted to filter. Filter executed. The value placed here. Okay, the value placed here. The count value 1. 1 will be placed here. After placing here, then HTML executed. Because here, if any other filter configured, other filter not configured, control comes back, no? Control comes back. That is you studied. Here, last one line will be there. Filter chain dot. Filter chain dot do filter. What that will do? It will send the control back. It will send the control back. Then this HTML executed. In HTML, what it shows? Click here to see the number of views. You will click here. Then this servlet executed. What this servlet will do? It will retrieve the data from servlet context. Then you observe that is HTML program. HTML program I'm counting with servlets and filters. You observe. That is dynamic dispatching. It is not possible with only servlet. It is possible with filter. Now these two are dynamic dispatching lines, dotted lines. If I remove this one, what will happen? It will not count. If you remove this line, what will happen? When request comes to HTML, HTML executed. HTML, if you click hyperlink, this is executed. While executing this one, what will happen? Your null will be there. Null values comes. If you remove this configuration. Okay? Write this one. Is it over? So one HTML program, one filter program, one Solid program, one XML program. 4 programs we are trying. Say, once again listen, control comes to HTML page. But is it HTML executed first or filter executed? Filter. So control comes to HTML program. Control diverted to filter with helping of XML file. Filter executed. The value placed in context. The value placed in context. After that, control back, it is sent back to HTML. HTML executed. HTML output comes. Here is one hyperlink created. When you click, this Solid executed. This Solid will bring the count value. So with the display Solid, count value displayed. But for you, this HTML appears, this Solid appears. This filter doesn't appear to you. Backside filter executed. Okay? See. Is it over? Now. Say file, new dynamic web project. Here already we written filter, something filters I'll write. Filters. Now next XML finish. Right click, new HTML. Homepage.html. What we are writing in homepage.html? Only hyperlink. That's it. Remaining nothing. Okay. Just what we have displayed. Click here to see the number of views. Here this should be a hyperlink. This should be hyperlink. So what you are writing? A tag open, A tag close. But when you click, what should execute? Hyperlink reference. Solid URL pattern. Display Solid. So I'll write display. When you click this hyperlink, display Solid executed. For this, some other code you can add it. BG color, yellow, text, green. Level 1 heading. This is HTML. See, background color yellow, text color green, and level 1 heading. Click here to see the number of views. Here is a hyperlink created. When you click display, Solid executed. See, right click, run on server, save. HTML output you can see. See, homepage.html. Okay, click here to see the number of views. If I click, which program executed? Display solid. Display solid, not there. Error. Okay. Now, this is HTML program. Note on this program. Is it over? Say, this is a hyperlink. When you click, this is executed. This is nothing but URL pattern of display solid. First filter we have tried. Filter. Right click. New filter. Package name, suppose filters. Class name, counter filter. Counter filter, HTTP filter. Next, here. What is the URL pattern we have tried? When filter should execute? Whenever request comes to homepage.html. That URL pattern you have tried here. Homepage.html. Okay? Okay. Next. Next, finish. Here. Here, do filter. This line automatically comes. This line only here. It will go back. That is given. It indicates web container to check XML file. If any other filter configured, other filter execute. Otherwise, send control back. That is given. So that line already or default automatically comes. Now here it is HTTP filter, no? HTTP filter, HTTP solid request required. HTTP solid request, HTTP solid response. Now, HTTP filter, it is HTTP filter. Now here, count equal to 0. Which type of variable required? Instance variable. Here, integer count equal to 0. Now count plus plus where we have tried? Do filter. Here count plus plus. Count plus plus. Okay. Now this count value you see in the diagram. Integer count equal to 0 I written. Count plus plus I written. This is we have to place in solid context. But first of all we require solid context, no? For getting solid context, you studied which method you have to call? Get solid context. Solid context. SC equal to request dot get solid context. See, get solid context. After this, solid context dot set attribute. Attribute name. What I given? Views. Attribute value. What I given? Count. Now it will take first parameter string. It is string only. Second parameter object. I given count. Count which type? int type. Is it valid? How it is valid? Auto boxing and upcasting. So int converted to integer, integer converted to object. Auto boxing and upcasting with two features, it is valid. It's over. Counting number of views. See in the diagram, int count equal to 0. I return. Count plus plus. I return. That value I placed. This is automatically generated. Over. Writing filter is over. Here int count equal to 0. Okay. Here count plus plus. That is I placed it in context. After that with chain dot do filter only it is passed to back. Over. Remaining not required. Even these all you can remove also because already we have this one default method is all concrete methods. That's what you can remove also. This is filter. In this program, any doubt? Here, node counter filter.java. Counter filter.java. One minute. No. Counter filter.java. So in this line, auto boxing and upcasting. Okay. Here, actually here parameter is object class object, but I passed count, nothing but int. Int converted into integer with auto boxing. Integer converted into object with upcasting. So in this line, auto boxing and upcasting is there. So first HTML executed or filter executed? Filter. Okay. Request comes to HTML, but executed filter. Control comes to HTML only first. That control diverted to filter with helping of XML file. Okay. So here this count equal to 0, instance variable. This memory allocated whenever object is created. This object is created whenever first request comes. Then only this memory allocated. After that, this do filter called. This is called for every request. So next time onwards only count plus plus executed. First time count equal to 0, count plus plus 1. Second request comes, only do filter, count plus plus. Again third request, do filter, count plus plus. Like this will increase. Okay. This is filter program. Now we have to write one more program, Servlet. Now is it completed? Now right click, new, Servlet. Now package name suppose filters, class name display filter, display Servlet. Now HTTP Servlet. Next, which type of request? First edit. Here what I written already? Display. Okay, display. Okay. Next, which type of request coming? Get. So do get. Finish. Here I'll remove this. Now here in do get, what we have to do, see this count variable we have to retrieve. We're retrieving this count from context. First context required. What we have to write? Servlet context sc equal to request dot get Servlet context. Now after getting this get attribute method, actually what it returns? Object. We record count integer. Here count equal to Servlet context dot get attribute. Here views. Views I am writing. This variable name, it is not compulsory count. You can write any other also here. Any other also you can write. There I written count. Here compulsory not count. Suppose. But this one must match. Views. Whatever we written here. Views. View I written. Okay. Views. Otherwise view. Views I write better. Number of views. Here whatever I written here, that one, this one must match. Suppose here view, here views if you write also error comes. Because with that only you can retrieve. So here views. Now here also views. Now Servlet context dot get attribute views. That will return this count. That count is placed in n. Now this variable name whatever you want you can write. It is not compulsory. But that is get attribute method which type returns is object class object. But object class object assigned to int. Is it valid? Is it valid? No, it is not valid. Downcasting. Now, so what you have to write here? Integer. Okay. First object class object return. Object class object converted to which type? Integer. That is explicit type conversion, downcasting. Integer assigned to which type? Int. This concept is called auto unboxing. But even if you write int also valid. It is valid. So here what will happen? Auto unboxing automatically done. that doesn't appears. Here object return, that object converted into integer only. Integer converted to integer, here auto unboxing done. Like this also valid. See, no error. It is also valid, but best one is integer only or write. That is only best option. It is only best option. Okay. Object comes, object converted to integer, that is up down casting, and auto unboxing. This n we have to print. For printing, what we have to write? Print writer. PW equal to response dot get writer. PW dot println. Homepage dot HTML executed n times. Count to times n times. But n should be variable. Double quotes plus double quotes. So homepage.html executed n times. We can add some other HTML. HTML body PG color, suppose green, text yellow, level 1 heading. Level 1 heading, body, HTML. Okay. Now Control Shift O. It's over. Now you can see. Right click, run on server. Save. Next. Finish. Restart the server. See here, homepage.html. Now I send request to homepage.html. Which one executed first? Filter or HTML? Filter. After filter, what is executed? Homepage.html. Two programs executed. When Solid is executed? If I click, homepage.html executed one time. Okay, homepage.html executed one time. Now again, say right click, run on server. I'm sending request to homepage.html again. Now homepage.html, 1 minute. It is again one time showing. Now that is 1 minute. That is again solid context created. No, that context is coming. It is now see here, refresh 3 times. Refresh, because another solid context created in that count variable placed. Now if you send the request to HTML, this is executed. So now if I refresh, my request passed to again HTML page. See 5 times. Back. Refresh. See 6. If I refresh, what will happen? Request comes to HTML. Then it is executed. See, if the request comes to HTML, then only it is executed. If the request comes to HTML, then only this is executed. So you can count the number of views. Suppose if you don't want, we can remove in XML. Anytime we can remove this configuration. Here, if you don't want, what you have to do? This filter configuration we can remove. Then it will not count. See, Control X. Right click, run as run on server, save. Because application again deployed, no? Again deployed means what will happen? Server restarted, again deployed, count again starts from 1. Homepage.html. If you click, error, because null value comes. That null value we cannot convert into integer. Cannot invoke integer.intValue. Auto unboxing place error, null pointer exception. Because count is not there. So in this case, what will happen? Here, views will be retrieved, but views is not there. That's what in this line error comes. Stop it here only. Exception comes. Null pointer exception. So views not there in the context. Then you are retrieving. Null value comes. That's what null pointer exception. This is solid. Right, this one. What is the solid name I given? Display solid. Display solid. .java. Application again deployed means solid context one more created. That's what it is started with 0 previously.